Okay, it's maybe it's one of the great secrets of the universe.
Red spot.
No? It's an apple. This is an apple photographed from a holographic sheet before it's actually been translated into something you can see in the three-dimensional field. This is what a holographic picture of an apple actually looks like. This is a hologram of an apple. Let me preface this. The importance of this picture is to tell you something about the universe, the light-encoded part of the universe that we live in. I mean, it's agreed that we live in a light-encoded part of the universe, despite the many dimensions that feed through it and weave through it. We still do live in a holographic universe. Now, what that means, it's also very potent, and I think it gives us a new perspective, or another perspective, shall we say, on the interweavings of the bigger universe. Do all of you know what a hologram is? A hologram is basically a photograph that captures the three-dimensionality of an object because it photographs the light, simply the light that is emanating from the object. It doesn't photograph the surface, it photographs the light, and it photographs the patterns of light from many angles. When that film, that holographic film, is placed through basically a decoding screen, then it becomes the apple you see. This is a holographic image of the energy that is given off from an apple. If this was actually put under a holographic screen, you would see an apple. This is the film that would be put inside, in between two sheets of glass that are focused to allow you to see the apple that's here. Now, the interesting thing about a hologram is that it's said that any part of a hologram contains the whole of an image. Theoretically, if our universe is a hologram, then any one atom in this hologram contains the image of the whole universe. If we took, theoretically, if we took one little tiny scraping off of this wall, it could be, the entire building could be holographically created from that one little scraping. Of course, that's the principle of cloning. And the very idea of the larger being cloned from the smaller. It gets back to some of the things we were talking about before the break. What we're really getting down to is that our whole universe is created possibly out of a very minuscule blueprint that has just been made very large. So when we look at this picture of an apple, it doesn't matter whether it's upside down or if we put it behind a holographic filter, you would see a red apple floating in space. Right now you see this. What makes the difference between you seeing the red apple and you seeing this?
Perception.
Your conditioning and your perceptual apparatus. In other words, inside you is a decoding screen, or something in the way your optical nerves are put together. Your brain is seeing the energy, and the way your brain reads that energy makes it into an apple. When really, it's a field of energy. Just look down at your life. You see how, and you see also there is no straight line there anywhere. That's like a continuous plasma field. And out of that continuous plasma field, an apple emerges. And actually, I should have actually drawn in the picture of the red apple, because the red apple would be floating in space. This is not just a little slice out of that apple. the red apple would actually be floating in space. So all of this would come together under a holographic filter to show, and the red apple would turn, and you would be able to see it from 3 dimensions. You would be able to walk around it. You would see it as a complete 3-dimensional object. And yet when you really get down to what is that camera seeing, what is the holographic camera looking at, this is what it's looking at. Not filtered through expectations or perceptual patterning. Now, this teaches us a lot of things. First of all, it teaches us that we see what we expect. That we're very much conditioned to see the world around us as being a certain way. And most of the time, we're looking at the actual resulting apple, and we're missing this. This is the continuous field of some form of energy, whether we call it plasma, whether we call it an energetic matrix, whether we call it the soup. This is what we're really seeing. This is what we're really looking at. This is what the camera is bringing back to us. But we see the apple because that's what our senses tell us. That's what they've been evolved to perceive. Why? Because we eat apples. We survive on apples. We live on apples. They're fruit. They're nourishment. We seek them. Why do we see other things that we see in our life? Because we've been conditioned to seek them and express a need for them. Therefore, out of this continuous field of energy, we see what we want. We see what we expect. We see what we're looking for. Now, what if we were looking for something else? How would we ever see it until we've seen it once? Good question, right? Until you've first seen it, how do you know what you're looking for? Well, that's where our imagination, our sense of inner creation comes in. That we dare to see something we haven't seen before. And we believe that from inside ourselves, we have the ability, we were created also holographically from a master plan. And within the hologram that you are is a trace memory of the Grand Creator.